guys. I am trying to fix some things. Long time ago that I was live. Things with my bitrate and frequency. Fix that and then we go. Guys, I think it's good. Get some people in here. Like I said, it's a very long time ago I started streaming. It was more like videos stuff. But here we are back. I think it's a great moment back because last time I made videos was around here. I said Bitcoin could dump. I mean, like since then I didn't saw, let's say, the necessity to come on here because, like I said, we could see this downturn, and I mean now I'm back. I see the volume increase on the bottom, so that's a really good indicator for getting back into action. I mean, drops a little bit lower, doesn't actually matter. Because if now is the first time you're getting in the market, you are in a really good position, in my opinion. I'm gonna talk about that. I don't actually know where to start. Yeah, I really don't know where to start, so I would like to get some questions of you and then I go on that deeper. For now, until there are some questions, we're gonna hang out, chill here. Look what's happening in the charts. more excited charts. I'm gonna erase everything from everywhere, every chart, so back from the start, what is happening. It's actually very easy. It's actually very easy to programming software. So if we break a certain area and we retest it, it's most likely to hit a certain target. If it breaks the area on the downside, for example, means that there is another potential target coming in by breaking low. Let's say it like that. So there are always multiple scenarios possible. The game is about probabilities. So that's why the risk management is very, very important in that case, because you cannot always be right. So the goal is, when you are wrong, to have a risk management that allows you to be wrong multiple times. And when you are right 1 or 2 times, you get back what you lose or even get a profit. So at the beginning, I'm not a financial advisor, but it's just for fun and what I do in my everyday life. So yeah, everything I say here will never mean that you should act on what I say, or you should not act on what I say. It's just entertainment and learning and having something to look forward together. Know that we need to say this. I personally, I am in this market since 2015, 2016. So I have a quite long time in these markets to a little bit understand where it's going, what it's doing, and where we are headed. So that's why I wanted to come back on YouTube, because I think I actually like doing videos and talking to you guys. So I would appreciate it. We can interact together. If you have things you are not like, don't agree with me, just tell me and we can argue about it and then see what fits the best for everyone. Because I mean, like, not everything that I say is the only thing that can happen. So this is the crypto markets. You always need to be very careful about or who you listen to. That's why I always say, don't listen to me. Give yourself an idea, take something from me, and make up your own mind. That's everything. So, but if there's anything like, I could do multiple things. I can do market overviews. At the beginning, I tried to a little bit explain the system I use, that I use now for multiple years. And for a long time, it was actually break even, but not because the system didn't work. It was because I didn't understand who I am and how my emotions react to real life. So, I mean, often people change strategies, change systems, change this, change that, but they actually don't change themselves. So often in this business, I think it's about changing yourself, shattering your belief systems, and let go of your ego to always readjust what you knew or what you thought was right and didn't happen, or vice versa. So this market is really an improvement tool for yourself. If you lose money, you learn. If you make money, that's the reward. So that's how you need to get it. Otherwise, it could be very painful and you will stop doing it eventually over time because you're frustrated. I mean, like, I went through all of that, and that's why I'm telling you. See who can jump on this call. I actually don't expect anyone to come, but yeah, it was just my first time coming back, getting comfortable, and just making the first move. I think the next days, weeks, there will be a lot more content coming. I don't actually know if I should do lives or do content. That's things you need to help me to figure out what you prefer. I know there's a lot of markets, like people last year, very uncomfortable, very careful time, let's say. Simple as that. Say, okay, dropped 83% last market. Dropped. Say, let's take even and away. All 80% so that it's lower to the but have consecutive lower highs and lower lows all the way down. Here you had the same. All the way down you had lower time. It's have another structure. I can also explain why I think that is. But we had the top here, made a low, made a new high. So this became, in my opinion, just through futures contracts and margin trades of big people like rich people like Michael Saylor that just rise back to highs, make people comments. I actually think all these people that chill Bitcoin at prices are break even loss right now. It's actually second manipulated by futures contracts or ET margin trading. It actually doesn't matter, but gives us a hint of where we can go when we go down. So in case mention, I don't know if you know what this check, see how much power move target. But let's say the price came from here, okay? Price rose up. We have a break of this line, and it's a little bit lower. But in this case, you can just point how far the move potentially go. And name of this my system I use, I true. Why? Because these are the most profitable. There's also a downturn of versus like here or anywhere the price reverses, extremely volatile. Let's say a hard part of it, because there is a lot of breakout trading. Like that's in my opinion. Like you have a market coming here and holding, coming back, holding. So, but the moment it breaks the high here, people start to enter to take the momentum and then exit. But the problem is have a big downturn or a big down move like so actually there's risk at least low here, otherwise even under that you cannot look at it. Doesn't mean you're in a weak chart, but imagine you get in at a reversal, and if it drops under this low, you have a very tight stop. It is here. You can actually take some profit, scale in the position once this happens. So, momentum trader. So, I try to take something from everyone, because all people that make money, they actually really make money. They see the market differently. So everyone's market a little, but all those people I'm looking at, they all make money. So it doesn't actually matter what you do or how. Actually, a little keep your emotions, turns your hands up. That's actually everything you need. Your emotions, self, and have a good risk management. Like imagine you make a 10 trades. Okay? 10 trades. 7 of these trades go into stop loss. Let's say the stop loss, so ratio, like you need able to times more than you are losing the trade. And let's say here make, for example, we make a 1-to-4 ratio, just a profit target that can give you your $100 profit times 25 is 175. 175 minus $175. On the other 100. Very easy. Like I know you know this, but it's so now you take the subtracting from them, so you will get $125. So you're $125 in a profit by having 7 trades, stop loss, and trades hit, so take profit. So this is to show you that you don't need to be better than the market. Yes, like you're wrong. Get out of your trades quick. You can have a winner that turns into, and have a loser turns into a winner. So, not be emotional on these sides. Very important. Have a positive outcome in your strategy. Your strategy doesn't make sense, you will never get it in the market. So a basic thing like this should make you understand just that you don't need to be better than the market. First thing you learn trading, get to the point and expand your profits. First of all, it's not getting the profits that count in the beginning, cutting the losses early. Once you get that, you can target the big profit. First of all, like I said, learn, stop. Oh. Very, very, very important. What will happen in the that will actually it's also something that a lot of people have actually ending wedge that once it breaks one of the two lines part pattern, there's a rising wedge opposite bearish pattern. Have the rising wedge tested selling zone. I thought you can go onto my old videos and check if I'm not lying or something. But I'm not a big Bitcoin fan. But I mean, it's moving the markets. It's predicting where the markets are going. Along these people that sold here was like, yeah, I made the right decision. And then when we came back, they started adding into their positions. Yeah. What I mean is, here's a rising wedge, here's a falling wedge. Okay, it is actually confirmed because we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 touches on both sides. So it is very easy to understand where it could go once it breaks one of two different scenarios. Like in this case, we are very, very near to have a breakout. I just can tell you one thing, no matter what people say, pay attention. Pay attention this here. Because if we break out here, and we break this level of 22,200, 22,300, 22,400 of this falling wedge, and actually the most common move after a break of a falling or a rising wedge is the start of the wedge. Okay, so that would be the old all-time high. Let's don't talk about all-time high, I don't like it, but at least a move back to 30, and if that breaks, we can have a squeeze to 48k. So, but before we talk on a little bit, not hopeless, but I mean, the more often something touches a support line, the win in the USA closed last week on negative at new lows, so this could make today a huge dump to the downside. Okay, so if this happens, I think 11k would be our local bottom for this bear market. But I also think that it is not really necessary to go there, but the algorithms always do the opposite thing of what the majority does. So everyone is quoting 11k. I mean, there are two different things. We can hit this price when fear hits the market, every market. Like if the interest rate goes higher, the chance we have in this case is maybe to spike a little bit down and then reverse and break these two lines here. You also have, I think, the 200 moving average is even higher. So we didn't actually hit this one. So we could actually see is up here. This happens, it would be very, very beautiful. Can hit this 28k, we would have the biggest W pattern in the Bitcoin history. Have capitulation, a retest of a zone to create the zone, and a breakout. So this next conservative target of pattern would actually be 31,000. So this is for me the on a midterm basis. It's very important to can also happen. So, but what you could do is this case is trading it. Okay. So there's money to make, but pay attention if we break down now here. Not get short squeezed, okay? Because this is a scenario that will most likely happen because we have a long time that we stay now here at the bottom, which brings fear into people's minds. Let's see where it is. Extreme fear still. So that's crazy. We have like for the last, I believe, 3 months. Yeah, man. For the last 3 months. Damn that. Yeah, January we hit the sentiment low of extreme fear, and then we had like this pump. This one. This pump, you can see January 2022. That was here this curve of starting to believe again. Okay, to come out of the then this you can truly see that this was a capitulation and liquidation event. Like they brought liquidation into the market to sell their orders and break the market down. So from that point on, since May 2022, we are crawling on the bottom. Okay? We had this little bit of rise, but I think that's because of the Ethereum merge, because people speculated on that move. And I told people, be careful, because it could be a buy the rumor, sell the new event, because you need to think about that. All Ethereum lovers, the price of Ethereum was going higher and higher because of all these ERC20 projects building Ethereum, not because of Ethereum itself. So, well, now years ago, okay? And now, all this euphoria for years and years and years and years for this merge to come gave us a 69, let's say 120% pump, okay? And that is all that gave us. So it's very, they make me feel sad because they actually do which world they are living. And I like Ethereum as a whole, but I mean, it's one of the community at the moment. So you can see how you want. Libertarians really believe that libertarians can use this to create their own ecosystem. Banks that have this market for 500 years to vanish, they have the market. The rich, they earn 95% of all the fortune existing in the world, so we 95% of normal people having normal money. So it doesn't matter what we matters what actually will be utilized. what I want to tell people for years now. Laugh at me, spit at me. Okay. I mean, I stay with what I believe, and I always did that. Turned out to be quite successful. This run, I didn't really lost money. So I spend a lot of money during the job and prayer, so I lived from it, and yeah, I'm still in profits in all the cycles I'm in. So I did quite well. I could have done 10 times better, but that's not the point. The point is to win, and the day will come when you win big. Actually, last time, I don't know if you know Crypto Mason, but he gave a quote like, getting success is like, you know, when you go into a water park for kids and you have like these big buckets where water fills in it until there is enough water in that it falls down, that the bucket turns over and the water falls down on the kids. And he said like success is the same thing. Success is doing and doing and doing what you believe so long until the bucket is filled. And once the bucket is filled and it turns down, all the success is falling on you. So the concept of believing in this is very powerful, because if you can do something without monetizing on it and still doing it and continuing and having a vision, this is where the bucket gets filled and filled and filled more and more and more. The more you do, the faster it fills up. So this is how success is built. It's actually a very beautiful quote. I love it. Let's see. So now there's a little, let's say, selling pressure and fear that could kick in, because we actually 100 average on our chart. For hourly chart, we have the 200 MA at save. So what did we have here, and why technically we had this pump? Because yeah, people understand how such a move it's most I don't know how to say it, but I mean, if you're following a little the SEC case and what's happening, you realize that Ripple actually is having quite good what they have to do job. So first of all, people speculate on that. You have potential target, like did it perfectly, like, and the close was exactly perfection, closing on the 1.61. Actually, the golden ratio in the Fibonacci numbers. That nature also can find nature in charts because we are human. Human mind is okay. So that's why I use it. I think it's powerful, but you need to know how to use it. But you can actually put extension and retracement setups everywhere, but they eventually don't work because you put them on the wrong spot. Okay? So in this case, I see a potential retracement coming. So now we are here. It's the first level where people are interested in buyback. So level here is often when the market is X at A2. The market needs some relative power. It needs to go back down to accumulation. Here, what would end under the 100 average? But if average will go down in price. So what this means? Actually, once we get here in this box, it will break it again and start a new rise. Okay. So, and this 200 moving average hold, yes, it can. Especially after a move like this, euro, it's ridiculous how much volume can, like we had just volume increase. Okay, we had at the bottom of last bear market, had the top or the bull run of this bull market, then it dropped down, the volume started rising because of this. So this was, in my opinion, capitulation was 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks. 9 weeks. It's 1/5 of the year without a positive candle. I personally didn't often see such thing in the market, but we had it and it was very painful. So after this capitulation, you can see the volume rising, but it just rises the euro pair. So what does this mean, in my opinion? That before on this exchange, Bitstamp euro pair was actually the maximum volume coming in not regular spikes. So now we can see with British currency collapse and stuff, we can see that actually the European are starting to buy Bitcoin more than the Americans, more than with the dollar. Look here, had more volume bull run than we have now. We had this spike, of course, but it's different. Okay? Here we see at the bottom for the dollar we had even more accumulated volume than in the bull run. Then the volume dropped down and now it starts rising again. So that's actually a good sign. Bye. And for me, XRP and some other coins are like to buy it on a for long term, it's actually one of the best prices to buy it. Because look at Ethereum or anything else, at a bear market bottom around is $120. There's actually one level that can hold us, prevent us from going there. If we break this low here, break this, low here, could have down to 400 downside. The only thing that makes me staying away from believing it, yeah, first of all, everyone we had, we never came back, so this time we came back to test all-time high. So history, all these coins had never. I prefer to show it with the 100-day moving average, but so stop paying it. Market. We have always this 100 average that prevented the market from going. But this time we broke it. But that doesn't mean what's that YouTube icon? So right now it's actually like here, this time we are trading under this. So I have some interesting things I saw in the market, like over a period of time, is that every time at, let's say, phases, so we had an input phase, what we say is the bull market, had a sideways phase, what we call inflation, and we had always again the capitulation event. So, and if you look closely, you can find all these patterns every run. Don't look at the size, look at the fact. So here the same, add this. Sideways action, add capitulation. In this case, because of the corona drop, drop back again, but the 200 average holding it. So now the question is, are we in such a tragic time for Bitcoin that it has the risk crumble down in a way it never did, when there was no liquidity, when there was no real purpose, where there was no real money coming in, where there was problems, latency, things that didn't work out, transfers got to the wrong place, like not a lot of instant money coming in, stuff. Like today we have a lot more money in the market than we had back in runs before. The question is, did this small move change the whole market? That's the point. And I believe so, because it actually showed that normal people started also to believe Bitcoin when it was at the top, unfortunately. But always have this pattern. So now, questioning capitulation. And I think so. Break even they're down and make a capitulation event. I don't believe that we will stay for a long time at this 10,000 or 11,000 mark. When you see price coming and comfortably invest some for the long run. This is actually the best price that you get when it comes to Bitcoin. So if it breaks down, don't get rushing to fear. Appreciate it. See the opportunity, take it, risk it, and eventually risk it. So it's gonna be just an experience, in my opinion. It was for me painful side, the joyful side. So always beautiful days. When we were at $250, I never thought Bitcoin thousands. It's always perception of your mind when we didn't actually experience something. So very difficult. Once it happens, you say, "Oh, I'm so dumb," you know. And I mean, like, if you have the choice between Bitcoin or how it's you. But overall, I mean, like, going at $200, you make good money, but just to double, or let's say 5x your money right now, go to 150k per 5x on, go to, for example, 5x coin we right now, 7k times 105 million would be a smaller market cap than Bitcoin had at it. More likely to happen, but what is here more likely to happen because of all this merge hype over that people now realize, oh shit, right now. And if the big miners want to stay with mining, we'll go to it classic or it will leave eventually over time. So we need to see an incentive, we need to see price appreciation to really get the belief catch back with Ethereum. I mean, it's also a corrupted project, like a lot of it. Think like, for example, XRP is bankers coin is not that, but actually more banks hold Ethereum and Bitcoin than they hold XRP. So I don't really understand point of view there, but it's okay. Like, I like what I believe in, and so yeah. I see someone jumped on the call. If you have some questions, if you want to analyze a certain market or a certain pair that you like, drop in the chat, and then I'm gonna go over that. My first time after, I don't know, a year, 2 years even, that I'm back on YouTube. I just realized that all this time, like, that I wasn't on YouTube, there wasn't really something to look forward to. So now I believe we're in a very interesting some currencies have a revival pattern building, and some have maybe some capitulation even that needs to come now. So let's take a look on that. Let's try to understand where we are in the market without listening to political events or some manipulative fundamental news that comes out, just technically, so we can understand where the market is naturally and where it could be manipulatively and speculative. So there's a difference what the price should really be and what is natural for a move in a price or in a, and what is unnatural. So this is very easy to explain. I mean, I have some years of XRP BTC. Ah, you like the chart, huh? Like XRP. I was very happy when I saw this breakout coming. This is what I had for all these years. I never really touched this setup here. I just saw that since we had the market top 2017-18, we actually respected that zone here, trend line, and we had 1, 2, 5, 6, 7 touches, 9 even. And then I was like, okay, it makes total sense. After we broke down, we had one level where we said, okay, this could be bottom. Then we had the SEC drop. I don't know if you realize, but and my biggest accumulation in XRP was in the zone here, like in the other chart, but you know what I mean. So it's pretty exciting to see this chart, because nobody actually talks about it. It's very funny because when something happens, like let's say now Ethereum would outperform Bitcoin in such a way, people start talking about it. But here nobody talks about it, and going to the daily chart, this is like a really huge decoupling. Okay, for a pair like this, it was a huge decoupling, and in my opinion, there can be two different scenarios, because we actually just tested now the 200 moving average. So what we need to see to really have a decoupling of XRP and the rest of the market, we break this 200 moving. Let's say the 0.000034 can break this one here and not crumble down very fast, and just accumulate, maybe have here like an bull flag, okay, on this moving average and then breaking out. Speculative, okay, but it's just what I just see here, because this down. As we rise here, we could see resistance coming in, then it accumulates, it could break, and if this happens and we break this, I believe this is where the true decoupling will happen. But this is a very, 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 very good indication, because yeah, since 2018 we're in this channel and break it, and not just a little bit, but it was actually a pump of 84% against Bitcoin. Go to Ethereum, XRP, Ethereum, same thing, it was even crazier. And this is because the merge happened, speculated on it to pump, it pumped, so that's why XRP even rose more against Ethereum, because of the event. So we had at the top 160% move and are still up 80% against Ethereum. So the same scenario here. I mean, there is not a lot of price chart, but that's why the 100 moving average is what I'm saying. Or that's what you see. But yeah, if you see that, I mean, it's not something uncommon. It's just like, if we talk now about let's say, have a target over here or at this low here. So if you tell people we could even have a further screen right now or next week up to this level here would put another 64%, people don't really believe it. For me it's very difficult to believe it too, but the charts tell me that it is possible. Not that it will happen, but it is. So for me, yeah, like you said, this got me really excited and made me think what is actually happening, because this is not an event that comes every day. I mean, if you have a small cap coin and there someone puts in, or a few people in 100 million, it can skyrocket just from out of nowhere. But here you need to realize that you go, for example, can actually see that the volume, let's say now it's 1.6 billion US dollar coin, okay, which is a stable coin utilized on every ERC20 blockchain and stuff, 3.6, so it's not even double, or let's say it's the double of the volume of XRP, and it is a stable coin. Like everyone talked about BNB. Look, we have just a third of the volume in rising, so it shows me that this coin is really huge. Okay? We have just a half of the market cap of BNB, but we have the triple of volume traded in pair. Okay, this is what shows the strength of XRP, in my opinion. I'm an XRP lover. It's the coin I believe the most in for the long term, and is the less riskiest investment, just because of how the world works and what they decide to for themselves. So do you have something else you want to talk about, or other chart, or maybe something you are not sure, or maybe we see the same thing? So and thanks for being in the live, man. It's 2 years ago I did my last thing on YouTube, so I appreciate that you're here. I really want to come back and start this more frequently, more often, and get back to a point where we can ride these waves together. Quant, let's do it. I love Quant. I remove everything. So this is for me like let's say this range from 31 to 42 is like the worst case. This chart like would be in the mid to the top was 261%. Why is Quant behaving differently than let's say it took off with Ethereum with the merge? But I mean, there are a few points why it's rising. It's because it's very scarce. There are even not even as much quant than there are bitcoins, so I think it's 14 million. There exists 14 million, I believe. Yeah, circulating supply. Oh, what is? So circulating supply is 13 billion, max supply is 14.6. So that's actually a pretty good thing, because if there is still some coins coming out, there's an incentives for validators and stuff. We have a market cap of 1.8 billion with a fully market cap of 1.9 billion. What is actually pretty good, because if you think projects that have a market cap of, let's say, 500 million and they have a fully diluted valuation of 2 billion, means that there is actually just a fifth of the coins, a fourth of the coins in circulation, what means that the whales of this project can dump their tokens at any moment, which here is actually very good distributed amongst wallets. So what I see here was a breakout of this sideways trend line. From the beginning we had this zone here that broke here on the weekly and then retested back and closed positively. So for now I would say it's quite dangerous here to do something. The way when you are not already invested in it, doesn't mean it couldn't work or something, but I mean it's like on a long period of time. If now you invest and say I want to hold this for 5 or 6 or 7 years, it's totally okay to buy now. But if you want to catch the good prices, or where you have really changing your life changing, you should wait. You should wait that if the crypto market like Bitcoin or Ethereum does something that gives you a hint of where it's going. But just looking on what it did, we had here, I think, yeah, let's say we touched this one, which is very important, because a sequence can only be activated and is only valid actually if it touches at least 38.2. So let's say, because the market nature is not always perfect, let's say it got hit, okay? In that case, we have an extension that could be possible and could bring us over the all-time high, okay? But the problem is I don't see a lot of power in this move, because I would have preferred to be more sure about the move itself. I would have preferred that it comes back really. This would mean we have a better price to accumulate, what makes that a lot more buyers and investors come in, because the prices are good again, which would take the power from the sellers that came in this whole range here. So we didn't do that. We broke now this high here, which you can expect to say, okay, our next big resistance zone is this here. Okay? Once we break this, I believe the next target would be $192. And after that, I mean, this would be not for the moment right now, but if we came back down here in this zone, we would have different support and resistance lines. But here in this case, even that I took it from here, I can see that here is a supply and demand zone, like a reversal zone or resistance, however you want to call it. So to be honest, I would suggest anyone that wants to buy it is maybe wait on a retest back to this zone here. Okay. And if it doesn't comes back, I would wait in your case to have a really nice break with volume. Like if you have such a volume like here, like we created here to break this one, if we could see this volume coming back to break this one, we could actually squeeze up to 192. So now it's very important to have two major support and resistance. We have an accumulation zone here, a little bit above the big buying zone. So, which I would say, in my honest opinion, maybe there is some juice coming in because of the zone, but if the sellers have big sellers, it's just gonna break it, because just under that we have the big buying zone. So this is when we break down here, I would wait on a retest of this zone, letting it get back under 100. And if it starts rising, I mean, everything you buy over this top here have actually a lot of potential to lose. So accumulate is always better when the prices are low. If you fear to miss out, I always suggest cut what you want to invest in 4 and 5. Let's say you want to put $1,000 in it. You use 250 bucks to buy, let's say right now, or on the dip, another 25% on the way down, another 25% once we hit it, and another 25% once it capitulates, if there's some event happening that you didn't predict it. So you always have some juice to DCA into the market and actually drop your average price of entry. So right now I would say, to take a decision, the most uncertain market you can invest in right now is quant for the short term, because it rose a lot. If Bitcoin breaks down, this will have a huge dump. So this is what you don't need to forget. But otherwise than that, I mean, quant, I see it on 1,000-2,000 bucks in the next bull run. So for long-term investment, it's still good. Like, imagine if you bought Bitcoin at 130k, yeah, you would have done well. So it's always the approach that counts. What is your goal? And yes, I got in at fine long-term holder to 5 digits. Going to share your channel, bro. Nice work. Thank you. Thank you too, man. Appreciate you. So you got a really nice entry. I'm happy for you, man. I didn't catch it at 55 because I was looking on some different stuff, but it never did come back under, let's say, 95. So I didn't got my chance yet. If it doesn't happen, I hope that there are some project I'm invested in that squeezes, where I make good money. Let's take the example of XRP. And if there is some unusual event happening and I make some good gains on that, I will take at least a third of my holdings and put it back into quant. But thank you, man. Thank you. I would love to grow the community and have people that like the work I do, and just do something together. What knows what will happen in the future. I started actually this channel not because I wanted to do YouTube, but I had a friend, he did YouTube at the time, and had like 2,000 subscribers, and I wanted to help him because he did a lot of fundamental stuff, and I was into technical, so we just combined the both, and people really loved it. I mean, I got 700 followers, or even it was 1,000 at the beginning, in like not even 5 days, you know. So right now I was thinking, I was like, okay, there was a big opportunity. People loved what you do. People really appreciated it, and I just had a time when I didn't feel doing it. So now I'm back. I'm back. I'm dedicated to do this, and I would love you being with me. So, if there's any other stuff I can do right now, just pop it in the chat. Thank you, man. And I dedicated myself so much to these charts that sometimes I don't really know what to do else in life than this, you know. So I'm really passionate about it. I do it every day since years and years, and I can't stop. Like it's how can I say that? It's an environment where I feel comfortable, where I feel that I have a skill that not everyone possesses, you know. There are a lot of different other things that I'm just terrible at, but I realized like I really like doing this, and I'm really interested in understanding why the market moves, why it moves like it moves and stuff. So this is really something I'm passionate about, and I just told myself why not giving my passion to other people, because there are a lot of people that maybe you know the charts, maybe you understand all of this, but there are also a lot of people that don't understand it and would love to understand it, or would love to invest and don't know how it works, or when they should buy and stuff. And I'm not a financial advisor, but I can show you pretty safe buying and entry zones and selling zones and stuff, because it's not based on my opinion, it's based on natural moves in the whole universe. That's why I use Fibonacci and stuff, because I don't want to think that I'm better, but I want to believe that nature always is some quite right, you know, because all you do for a plant to grow is putting in water. You don't structure the plant, it structures and it builds and it creates itself. And this is on energy, and the energy and what they realized is always these Fibonacci numbers, the golden ratio, and everything builds it the same way. And I told myself, before thinking that I am better than anyone, maybe just try to use something that really works for thousands and thousands of years. Yes. Alp, I don't even know that pair. Wait. You know the chart where there is the most liquidity. I can see here is Bitfinex, KuCoin, and Uniswap. You actually know where the best liquidity. Let's try here Bitfinex, USDT. Okay, on KuCoin. Lions block. Let's try the Unis. Damn. This looks like it hurt really much. Overextended. Try on a scale. So the good news about this is that we actually broke this falling wedge. So now we are actually on the bottom, sure, but we are on the bullish side of the wedge. So I think Alliance block, some kind of catalyst, I don't know. Fundamentals of this token, I don't know. So yes, but I mean, go closer. I try to find the chart. Dollar. That's right. Oh, beautiful. So yeah, it looks like this could be a dead cap bounce if there is no real catalyst behind it. Dead cap bounce like here. I mean, you could capitalize on it. Important is that the volume stays high. And you didn't break the channel yet. But I mean, if you believe in the project, I can tell you whatever I want, but I believe this is the best opportunity. Take it. Like I said before, here a next and down move, put a quarter, just put a 25% of what you want to put in it in now, and the rest you wait for further confirmation. I would say the best confirmation you can get is when we break 6 cents, 6.5 cents. Is 6.5 cents. And that's why I say you put something in now. Let's say you want to put $1,000 in it. You make 630 euro if it works on $1,000. If you put in $1,000 here, it's a wait until 10 cents to make the same amount. So I would say if you put now $250 here, you can make until here, you can almost already double your bag. I don't know if you still hold them or well, glad Alpt partnered with Bond. Okay. Do you think this is a gem? Could be. I really don't know much about it. I can't tell. I just see chart and I mean where can try. I mean if you enter in now and it would turn, then you catch the bottom. If it goes further down, you still have 75% on the sidelines what you wanted to invest in. So I would say every market right now, even if it drops another 50%, you are quite in a good spot right now, because we are almost at the bottom. So if you lose now on your $1,000 you want to invest in, you lose $125 on your trade that you enter now. With your $750 coming in 50% lower, you can make a gain. Imagine we break down another, yeah, let's say 50, because it's an altcoin, so small cap. I mean, for $750, you would get 7,000 or 4,000 of these coins. So if it turns back, if you have 4,000 of these coins and it comes to the zone I told you before, you make a 236% move, and you actually the 200 you invested here don't matter anymore, because your average price just dropped significantly down. So even if there you lose these 125 bucks, your average price now dropped half of its price. So once you go back over this 2.5 cents, you are in profit. So that's the whole game. Never try to hit the market at the perfect time, because most of the time you will not get it. But if you DCA from a certain point on, there's nothing you can do wrong, in my opinion. Yeah, don't worry, man. SRP, move love potion, it did that. Oh, what is this? This one. Is it this one you mean? 99. Crazy. Can you just confirm that it is love potion? I also, when something happens in the market, I try to come live if I'm not on my way. So I will really do my best to try to be on the market happens, or after something happens, whatsoever. But I mean, today you need to look out for, in like 2 hours, exactly 2 hours, the market could go down. Don't squeeze down to could indicate that could get a move upside, but the chances are big it's down, just because of the dollar just had a little correction, so now it has a bottom formation. Break now, dollar break 112 point. Also finds the last bottom, then get the squeeze over that. You have the same pattern here again, a W breakout, have a conservative target of, let's say we could have a move of 1% in the dollar. Okay, this happens. Look here, Jesus Christ, we closed last week negative. The only positive thing we have is that we hit the 200-day moving average. This doesn't hold, we're gonna get a very ugly squeeze, in my opinion. So this week it's very important we close the week now that opens today, close it above the 200 moving average. Otherwise we're gonna have a big coming in. Very important. I don't want this scenario to come, but it is how it is. Prepare yourself. But yeah, smooth love potion if you're still there. Have the bottom here. Okay, so what is very important is not break it. Have multiple touches on the line here, so that means that the squeeze downside is very likely. If Bitcoin holds and breaks, we will break this one too. So what you need to look out for is have this zone here, and where it breaks is where you trade. Breaks down, you can short it or whatsoever. But if it breaks, you can anticipate a trade from here, which 7%. If you long, I would at least take a half of your positions out here, and once we squeeze volume above it, you can scale it up until the 200 moving average. But I would, if go in with, I would take it out. And if it retests back on the zone, getting another trade. But here we also have, since top, have this trend line that can most likely be. Now we have 3 touches in a row, so we have a bottom here. If it squeezes up just a little bit, we break this and come back down and then bump up to this. It's a very volatile situation, so it's also dangerous to trade it. But what's actually very good here is that go out in and just have a mini stop loss. Like once it breaks the old lows, it's like in a margin trading, it's 80% of your. So it's a spot trade. You can easily go out here with -7% drop and capitalize on the next move coming. But once you see now here volume coming in, looks like we are breaking right now. There is, but we need to break this as 7-9, and yeah, actually I would prefer to see this here break. This one breaks here, we could squeeze, but right now it's just a very low price we have, so you can speculate on as a rise. But don't forget, we have at 35 we have markets of us, and I think this could get a mess when dollar pumps and the stock market crashes. For now, I would maybe just have a look on the market. If you want to risk it, a small amount of money and have a stop loss. Have a limit what you want. Don't go over that. If you want, you can leave a little like. Can sub to my account, so when something new comes out, you're the first one seeing it. And thank you for being here, man. Made it a lot easier for me. And I think the more people see this, a lot of people appreciate it and love it. So if you want to do me a favor, like you said, show people the channel and we can do something together. It really looks like it's gonna break down, but you know what happens when everybody thinks it's going to go down, so careful. I mean, like, when you see events like that, you know that buyers and sellers are fighting right now, so you need to wait patiently. If we can get the squeeze up here, break it, and then start a new run. Maybe come down here or whatsoever. Or if we go back here, fail, and then get the squeeze back down to 50. Okay. So for me, areas that are likely to happen. For me, the only way I would trade this is actually waiting for the breakout and the retest. You have a nice retest. Combined, when you go closer, have a nice retest. Let's say it pumps here. You break it, you wait to retest. So, and if you take your tool, set it to the bottom, impulse, you can actually see I will look at exactly. So yeah, the target would be 22.3. But after we hit this target, chances are big that we come back, visit actually the zones here. Like you see, take the bottom, new top, actually broke this high here, which is very important. Then you're going to get an entry around this area. So there is a potential trade here. Is more risky. I would not trade this because we are down in the market and fear is still kicking in mind. So I don't think on a quick reversal. If it reverses here, I would wait until the break of 22 to get along. And then you have the resistance here at 22.7, which could also bring the market down again. So we have a lot of resistance to overcome. But if you want to trade it, I would say wait until the retest zone and then you go in. You have a proper setup and you know, okay, we decided that the price needs to be higher, broke old highs. So that means that momentum is coming in, and once momentum stops, you wait to see if people are interesting back at this line. And if you see here bounces, okay, then you can go enter a trade and risk until this one, okay. Then if momentum comes and comes and comes, you can just close here 50% of the position. Once it breaks, you scale in again, so you have already profits on the side, you scale in and you squeeze it to the next high here. Okay? But until this happens, I would just stay very vigilant, because markets at the bottom and at tops are very, very volatile, and you can get stopped out in both ways and still be on the right side and get wrecked, you know. That's the problem with trading, that buyers and sellers often get liquidated in an event before actually the move or the impulse or the pump or the dump happens. So that's why you always make a small trade at a reversal point and you scale in once it breaks the high. Then you need to be very, very careful with your stop losses. Okay? Stop losses are very, very important. But you can also wreck yourself with stop losses because you put the stop losses too near to your entry and it gets touched every time you are in a trade. So you lose not much, but you always lose. And when you then have a winner, you don't let it go to the take profit, but you take profit too soon because you fear that it's going to roll over and go back in stop loss and stuff. So this is all the emotional stuff where you need to learn yourself who you are, how you react to this emotion, and yeah, basically learn about yourself, how you are, who you are, and yes, it's the journey. Thank you for the like, man. So I would say if in the next few minutes nobody joins, maybe I come back tonight. I'm from Luxembourg, so now the time here you can see on my screen is It's 1:41 p.m. So maybe tonight, or maybe even in 1.5 hours, to have a live on the opening of the US markets, stock sessions. Maybe I will be back then. And yes, I appreciate that you were here, that you interacted with me. And I think we do this on a regular basis and really get this channel to go up, and we can help a lot of people. Because fundamental analysts are everywhere. One talks about news and catalysts, but not a lot of people really want to show people how to make technical analysis, how to see the markets. And if they do, they charge prices. So for now it's for free. I mean, once I have over 10, 20, 30, 40,000 subs on YouTube, maybe I will create a course or channels or something. And I mean, all the people that support me now will have sure access for my content because they help me to. So very early stage, it's an opportunity, and let's take it. If you're still on, can you let me know if my voice when I speak it's actually fluid, or if you have some breaks in my voice, if you hear some breaks in my voice? Otherwise, for the next live, I need to change something with my audio. Thank you, mate. Also a project that I think it's not bad. I like it. I think there could be a potential price action coming, as we broke also the trend. Also again a falling wedge. not a beautiful one, but I believe this is also a kind of revival pattern, because have a bottom, have actually all head and shoulders. Shoulder, head, shoulder. If you break this neckline here, have a target. Breakout. 90, let's say 3 down. We have a moving average at 286. So it depends of the momentum. If there is not a lot of momentum, I don't think we could break this. But if there is momentum, I believe will not hold. And if this happens, could get a really also from here, break of this high 380. Yeah, if we get rejected, come back to 160. This breaks, what will happen? Test back to 60. Also, which also would be amazing opportunity. See the volume rising. Also a very important indicator. Because all this move here, you can see here was the top of the volume on Binance, where Binance came in. So I believe the squeeze came from here and then started rising, and why we have this huge drop in all the altcoins, because what you see on the charts is often not where it began. So careful. I got almost wrecked with Beta Hero at the time because of that. I can explain what happened. I mean, it was listed on 2 exchanges, KuCoin and another exchange. And back then, we're here. Okay. So I entered the market here on the break. So you had this trend line. Once it break here with high volume, because the volume was higher than all the candles, you can see the retest what I talked about before. Then here at 10 cents, I believe, 10 or 9, 10 cents, 5, I entered. I actually took in 2 weeks, I think it was 2. Yeah, what, 2 weeks exactly. That 2 weeks, I actually had a quite big position in that, but I was too dumb to take profits. So the market broke down. I was still sitting in the coin at 4.6 cents, and I was like, okay, if we don't get a squeeze right now, I'm just selling here. Then we squeezed up back to 10, and I sold where I bought it, so I didn't lose money. But Jesus, when you look what happened after, I never saw I never saw a downtrend like this. So everything happens. Oh, I saw it broke out. So people asked me when we were back here, yeah, should I buy back in? I love this coin, I like what they do, I believe it will survive, blah blah blah. And I said, if you really believe that it survives, you should just enter now. Because no matter what happens, or you lose everything you have, or it gets a squeeze back up to at least a cent. And if you bought back here and get up, it's like 350%. So back then you put in, let's say, $1,000 and you lose everything on your $1,000. You put back in $1,000 here and you make $1,500. So you make 300% of your initial investment. You'd always think that way. You just lose when you really sell. Have a daily 200 moving average at 1.6. So we could see a squeeze where we don't know where it comes from, and 400% move could happen. I don't really believe in it because I see the volume spikes of sellers a lot higher than buyers, but I also can see that we have an buying volume. So once the big selling orders are filled and the market doesn't drop significantly, we out of this channel, which makes resistance at 1 cent, that this candle entirely ate. We close here a little bit higher, the pump in days. I mean, there's so much to analyze, and I would prefer to do it when more people are live. I mean, I think most of my audiences come from the United States. Yeah, that's why maybe I come back in 1.5 hours. And yes, I appreciate that you were there, that you interacted with me, and